The story starts with a dark room where a boy named Kurosu is laying down on the floor. Kurosu is depressed and says his existence is meaningless and he feels lost. He tries to hang himself, but he fails. Then Kurosu says he can't even die. Then Kurosu sees a light coming from a hole. The light was coming from his neighbor's room. Then Kurosu sees a beautiful girl. Her name was Rio Miyaichi. She had shifted today. Kurosu got interested by seeing her. It looked like he got a reason for living. Every day, Kurosu just sees her from that hole all day while eating snacks, food, or while drinking. He doesn't do anything, just keeps watching Rio. One day, while watching Rio, he sees that Rio was gone somewhere. Kurosu opens his door to look for her. He sees a girl who is knocking at his brother's door, but his brother doesn't respond. So, she hangs the food outside and then leaves. Because Kurosu was poor, he takes that food and suddenly starts eating. Then Rio comes. Kurosu says, "It's weird food, I think it's trash, so I ate it." Miyaichi smiles. Kurosu says, "I live up there." Miyaichi says, "Oh, we are neighbors," and then invites him for food to eat together. Miyaichi cooks food, and then they both start to eat together. While eating, Kurosu says, "It's delicious," and asks if he can eat more. Miyaichi smiles and says, "Sure." After returning home, Kurosu says it feels like a dream. Then Miyaichi invites Kurosu for food every day. They both eat together, and at night Kurosu sees her again from that hole. One day Kurosu says to Miyaichi, "I am a loser in life. I don't have any work. Don't you think a guy who has no work, no education, is eating dinner with you? Don't you think it's strange?" Miyaichi smiles and just says, "We are connected together now." She doesn't feel anything bad. Kurosu feels comfort for a moment and then eats. He thinks to stop watching Miyaichi from now on and puts a sticky note on the hole. But then he sees a man with Miyaichi in the room. Kurosu thinks it's her friend maybe, but suddenly Miyaichi grabs his hand and stabs him with a dagger. Kurosu gets shocked. Miyaichi smiles. Kurosu gets frightened and says, "What was that?" Suddenly a car comes from outside. Some people take boxes from the car and run into Miyaichi's apartment. Then a lady also gets out from that car. Meanwhile Kurosu is in panic. He doubts that she has a knife or something. He thinks it must be a misunderstanding. Then someone knocks on Kurosu's door. It's Miyaichi. She cooked something for Kurosu. Kurosu opens the door, and Miyaichi says she wants to eat food with him in his room. From then on, Kurosu invites her. Miyaichi eats and enjoys her food while Kurosu is still in shock and quiet, just watching Miyaichi. Miyaichi says to Kurosu, "You are always alone, and I eat food with you to find out if I am normal or not, or feeling alone." While Kurosu is in these talks, he is in trauma because the girl he likes committed murder in front of him, and he can't believe it. After dinner, he sneaks again and sees no blood or any sign in Miyaichi's room. It turns out that the people who came out of the van cleaned the scene for no proof. Kurosu sees a girl talking to Miyaichi. After talking, she comes out and Kurosu sneaks from his door and sees that girl, whose name is Reina. Reina also sees Kurosu and says, "I can see you." The next day, Kurosu is going to wash his clothes. Miyaichi offers Kurosu to use her washing machine. Then Kurosu cleans his clothes and thinks it was just a hallucination. At night he again watches a guy with Miyaichi. Miyaichi again grabs the guy's neck and stabs him. Kurosu screams loudly, and Miyaichi sees him. Then they both run to the roof. Kurosu falls on his knees and says, "I love you. And I know, if I run, I can't live normal." Miyaichi warns him by saying, "Do you want me to kill you?" Kurosu says to Miyaichi to kill him. He tried everything but he still survived, only Miyaichi can kill him. Miyaichi grabs Kurosu's neck and asks how he feels. Kurosu says, "In the depth of my heart, I want to date you, Miyaichi. Miyaichi says, that's fine, and licks his face and smiles. She lets go of Kurosu and accepts him. The next day, the girl who was coming for his brother, whose name is Kawasaki, comes home. The two siblings greet Kurosu when they see him. On the other hand, Miyaichi sees that hole where Kurosu used to watch her. Kurosu tells her to remove that hole, but Miyaichi says to keep it because they are now in a relationship. Kurosu gets a job in a store. Then they both talk through the room hole at night. The next day Miyaichi takes Kurosu to her college. They both talk happily and have a good time. On the way home, Miyaichi runs, wears her raincoat, and instantly stabs a woman. It turns out Miyaichi kills people in front of Kurosu. Kurosu also mentions why she does this, but Miyaichi ignores and smiles. Days pass. Miyaichi does her job, but Kurosu wants her to stop in many ways, but he can't succeed. It's like fun for Miyaichi. One day, Kawasaki feeds her cat, and Kurosu sees this as a beautiful thing. At night, when he is going to look from the hole, he sees a note, watch at 10 p.m. He gets excited. At 10 p.m., he looks through the hole and sees Kawasaki tied on the bed. He screams and tries to stop it. Poor Kawasaki didn't do anything, but Miyaichi doesn't stop and stabs him. Kurosu is shocked, then he runs to Miyaichi's room where Reina sees him. He argues that Kawasaki didn't do anything. Then Reina takes him to Kawasaki's room where he sees that Kawasaki did bad things with cats and cut their parts in boxes. After coming back home, he still thinks that this is murder. The next day, Miyaichi wakes him up, but Kurosu says murdering people is bad, it's not good. Miyaichi, in defense, says, cats are also cute, taunting him to defend herself. But Kurosu stays on his point. Then Miyaichi leaves. Kurosu meets Kawasaki's sister, who is worried about her brother. Kurosu acts like he doesn't know about anything. At night, while having dinner, Miyaichi says she has rules, she doesn't kill innocent people. The next day Kurosu meets Kawasaki's sister. They have tea, and on a walk, she gets interested in Kurosu. At night Kurosu sees a person's hand on Miyaichi. When he talks about that person to Miyaichi, she gets angry and says, "You are also with glasses girl." Somehow they both manage the situation. After that, Miyaichi goes to a club. It turns out the person who lifted his arm on Miyaichi is a gang member and invited her to the club. When she went to the club, the gang offered her to be a member. Miyaichi killed their member, and now they want her to be a member, but Miyaichi refuses, then screams Kurosu's name. The next day she picks Kurosu from the store for his safety. On the way home, they meet Kawasaki's sister. She says her brother went to Bangkok and informed them. Kawasaki's sister drinks a lot and suddenly falls asleep. Miyaichi wears her raincoat. Kurosu stops her and warns that if she kills her, police will investigate. Miyaichi suddenly says then she has to kill Kurosu. Kurosu says, "You can't." They both look at each other, and Miyaichi leaves. After some time, Kawasaki's sister wakes up, and suddenly a romantic moment happens between Kurosu and Kawasaki's sister. But Reina comes and says Miyaichi didn't kill and feels angry, warning Kurosu to stay away. Reina asks Miyaichi why she didn't kill, but Miyaichi acts different as if she doesn't know anything. On the other hand, Kurosu and Kawasaki's sister meet at a restaurant. She tries her best for Kurosu to leave Miyaichi and live with her, also giving him an invitation to meet her the next day. On the way back, the gang kidnaps Kurosu, beats him, and threatens him to tell Miyaichi to join the gang or they will kill him. They let Kurosu go. Then Miyaichi sees his scar on his face, and she is about to go for revenge, but Kurosu stops her. Miyaichi leaves after confessing that they will kill him if she doesn't stop those people. At night Kurosu again sees Miyaichi kill someone, but this time she is crying and then leaves. Kurosu runs to the gang and begs them to stop making her sad. Gang members beat him, then Miyaichi shows up and kills everyone, including the boss of the gang. Miyaichi asks Kurosu what he was doing there. Kurosu says he was worried about her and saw her crying, and says he likes her. Then they both have a romantic kiss. But suddenly Kurosu feels something. He sees a blade hitting his stomach and blood flows. Miyaichi smiles and says she wants to kill who she likes. When she takes out the blade, Kurosu collapses and falls. Miyaichi smiles and says, "I love you." In reply, Kurosu says, "Me too," and his vision gets blurred. The next day, we see Miyaichi carrying a bag with her, climbing stairs, and meeting Reina. Then he hears a scream. Kurosu says, "Wait for me," with sticks in his hands to walk. Reina says some kind words and then leaves. In the last scene, they let go of their past and start a new life. Miyaichi and Kurosu introduce their names, shake hands, and walk away. The story ends.